What's up, guys? This is YGO Silence coming at you with my Vendread deck profile. Now, before I get into this video, I want to do a quick disclaimer. I just recently got back from my Code of the Duelist sneak peek, so I'm actually missing one or two cards for this deck, so I have proxies in here, which I never enjoy doing, but I feel that getting this to you in a timely manner is the best way for you guys to be able to build this deck on your own, and I think that the few cards missing is okay. But that being said, this deck is a lot of fun. I have done a lot of practices with it over today, and I do think this deck profile works. I've done many test hands. I've had some duels with my brother and my friends, and I think it works. That being said, this is a very young deck. It's not been tested thoroughly against the meta, and also I feel that it is a very small archetype. It doesn't have a lot of the support that Konami will probably be bringing to this deck over the next couple, year or two. But right now the deck is very playable. It's very good. The boss monster is incredible if you get him out the correct way. And that being said, let's get right into this video. Alright guys, to start off, let's go into our main deck. Now, this is a ritual based deck, so you must run 3 of your ritual boss monster. This is Vendread Slayer. Now, I am missing one of the cards. Man, I was so salty I could not get a third one. But there are a lot of guys in my locals looking for Vendreads, and I could only get a hold of 2 of them. But Vendread Slayer is a fantastic boss monster. Not on his own, but when you get him out with your Vendread Revenants and Hound Horde, it's a very powerful monster. I think he's comparable to a beefed up Trident. Alright, next you run 3 of Revenants. So the effect of this is, if this card is, if a Vendread is ritual summoned using this card on the field, it gains this effect. Quick effect, you could target one special summoned monster on the field and banish it. That's really good. It allows you to clear off stuff. It's like a Trident. That's powerful in itself. Also, the way this deck works is it's a lot of zombie support, so it's very easy to get these guys on the field. Next, 3 Hound Horde. Same thing as Revenants, only Hound Horde is the spell trap version. So if you ritual summon with him on the field, you could do spells and traps and just banish them off, which is really nice. So that is all of that's the entire Vendread archetype. Now there are some spells and traps, but we'll be getting to that later. Alright, 3 Unizombie. Unizombie is standard in any zombie deck, in my opinion, because he's just a fantastic card. He's allowing you to send zombies from your deck, control his level. You can make him a 3, you can make him a 4, possibly go use him to go into 6s or 5s or whatever with Plague Spreader. I think Unizombie is a fantastic card and a definite required 3 of in this deck. Same thing with Mizuki. Mizuki is required. It's 3 for any zombie deck. Just incredible card. Next, for the ritual side of this deck, you want to definitely look at Manju. Manju of the 10,000 hands is a great way to unclog your hand. The real important thing about this deck is you gotta see, this ritual spell over and over again. And once you get one Vendread Slayer out, it's really not that big of a deal. You don't need to see him again because the spell allows you to summon him from the graveyard. But you need to see those spells over and over again, and so Manju really does allow that, and is very effective to do so. Also, the 2 ofs, you run 2 Samurai Skull. Samurai Skull, I wanted to run 3 of him, but I found it was really just too cloggy, and also he's pretty much a budget version, or not a budget, kind of a crappier version of Unizombie. The destruction effect is okay. It's not great, but it's alright. And also 1 Plague Spreader. I like Plague Spreader in any zombie deck, especially with Unizombie in it, because it allows me to go into a free rank 6 if I really don't have any other play, and sometimes having that fallback plan is just very helpful in any deck, because you can't completely rely on any deck's consistency. Every deck ever made can brick, and so it's best to think ahead for that and plan. Alright, next going into the spells. 3 Vendread Origin. This is the ritual spell, and it is very good. Used to ritual summon any Vendread ritual monster from your hand or graveyard, tribute monsters from your hand, field, and or banish zombie monsters from your graveyard whose levels equal or exceed. And then also you could banish this card from the graveyard and stop Vendread Slayer from being destroyed by battle, which is really nice. Also, you run 3 pre-prep, 1 prep, standard for any ritual build. Draw Engine, 3 Allure required. This is kind of a tech card I really do enjoy in this deck, and that's Dark World Dealings. Hit one of your Vendread monsters, and then you could summon them back with some of the other cards in this deck, and it's actually pretty effective. I do like Dark World Dealings. It allows you to get through your deck a lot quicker, be much more consistent, and it's just a strong draw engine. Plus, you know, sending stuff to the graveyard is very, very powerful for the zombie archetype, and though your opponent gets to do the same, I think, unless it's a mirror match, Dark World Dealings is much, much better for you and not your opponent. Next, 3 Book of Life. Book of Life is an incredible card. I think it's a required 3 of in this deck. Because the Vendreads only get their effects off if they're used to ritual summon while they're on the field, Book of Life is a required 3 of because you need to get these out on the field, and you could keep reusing them over and over again with this Book of Life. Alright, 1-ofs. 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Burial from a different dimension, 1 Soul Charge. I like to say that every zombie deck is built on the back of a Soul Charge. Soul Charge is stupid with any zombie deck. It allows you to go into incredible plays, do a lot of good stuff. And that's the same for this deck. It's a very powerful card. But anyway, that's our main deck. Alright, now we're moving into the extra deck and the side deck. Starting off with the extra deck. This deck does not require an extra deck, but there are some good cards that do help out. For one, Ciphering Lord Omega, very powerful card. I run 2 Arc Lord Zombie Skull. This card is pretty much just a fallback guy. You really don't want to put this card on the field. But the reason I put Plague Spreader in there is just so you could send Plague Spreader, put a card on top of your deck, special summon them with either Unizombie or Samurai Skull, and just get out a free Archfiend Zombie Skull. And so that's kind of my thought process behind it. I don't like bringing him out, but he does help when necessary. You could also go with Doom Kaiser Dragon as a 1-of in this deck. I don't prefer it, but you can use it. Alright. 2 Black Rose. Black Rose is an incredible card. I really do like it in any zombie deck because being able to drop it and then Mizuki something out of the graveyard and do some plays from there is just really nice. 1 Stardust. You can run more than 1 Stardust. I only like 1. 1 Minerva. Every once in a while you like to mill. Same with Dante. Tornado Dragon, Castell. Alright. Dark Rebellion. Dark Rebellion's decent in some situations. Then, of course, the Lightning Engine. That's only 14 cards. Frankly, I don't even know what I would put in for the 15th spot. It's kind of up in the air. But the cool thing about this deck, and the reason it's not bad in the Link format and why it's okay to run this Ritual deck and be considering being competitive with it, is Rituals won't hit it all in the Link format, so they're really, really nice right now. Definitely helpful. Alright, now going into the side deck. Side deck's actually kind of important because in some situations, siding out cards is very, very vital to this deck. 3 Forbidden Chalice. This is great when dealing with dinos. Whenever I see dinos, I throw in Forbidden Chalice. I would usually pull Dark World Dealings. Maybe Plague Spreader for something else, you know, because you need to be able to shut down that Ultimate Conductor. 3 Twin Twisters. This is helpful in some situations. 3 Ghost Ogre. Love Ghost Ogre. Best hand trap in the game, 100%. Ash Forehead is pretty good, but it is also a zombie, so that's really a big up, but it's very expensive, and Ash Forehead really... I think Ghost Ogre is better in a lot of situations, honestly. I do think Ghost Ogre offers something that Ash Forehead does not. Board Wipes, Regeki, 2 Dark Hole, really helpful. Always good to have those. 1 Max C, and then this is kind of the tech card. A lot of times I run into targeting, and targeting is a bit of an issue. So I do run Jin, Demolisher of Rituals, and pretty much when you ritual summon a monster, you could banish this card from your graveyard as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. If a player ritual summons using this card, that ritual summon monster cannot be targeted by the card effects of the other player. So it's really, really nice if your opponent's targeting you a ton or doing something along those lines. It's really very helpful. So just running it at 2 in your extra deck is, or not your extra deck, your side deck, I apologize, is very, very nice. But anyway, guys, that's my deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.